Following the conclusion of my Conquering Louisville series, I have been craving another Project Zomboid challenge run.
Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
And considering my hours of gameplay before versus after I wrapped up that story, I think it's safe to say that I'm ready to raise the stakes. The city of Louisville is already considered to be the quintessential endgame challenge for Project Zomboid players. So how exactly am I going to make that next step? Enter Raven Creek, where we will die. If you're not familiar, Raven Creek is a map mod first posted to the Steam Workshop way back in 2020, and it is truly a masterpiece. A humongous city containing multiple industrial zones, military checkpoints, a prison, and a mind-boggling number of zombies. With the help of a handful of challenging mods and like 200 other mods in total, I have meticulously crafted this playthrough to push me to my absolute limits. This is the story of Robin River, a former firefighter and overall badass who stayed behind to try and help evacuate as many people from the city as she could. Unfortunately, even the military could not contain the spread of this virus. With the entire city on lockdown, Robin was abandoned and forgotten, trapped inside of this nightmarish cityscape.
Get him off! Help! Help! Save me! Save me! Help! 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 Get him off! Help! Ah! Ah! They're killing me!
I can't believe it, but we're safe up here. For now. I don't know what happened to my partner or if he's even still alive. If there's a chance of finding him, then I need to be prepared. I moved inside and began scavenging for anything that would aid in my survival.
Yes.
Now that I have a means of defending myself, I'm able to move in and out of each room with more confidence. I corralled all the supplies I've found into this corner apartment before moving to the next level below. This backpack and fresh drip was a great find, but I just couldn't shake the feeling that it was a little bit too quiet in here. After looting more supplies from each apartment, I was given a surprise greeting from a familiar face.
It's just one of those.
One zombie became two. Two became three. and before I knew it, my moment of solace had come to an end. I knew the same bloodthirsty monsters that chased me here would eventually find me, but I'm done running. It's time to show these undead freaks I'm not afraid of them anymore. Rather, they should be afraid of me. After clearing the rest of the building, I quickly searched through the fresh corpses like a raccoon in a dumpster and found some useful items. A key, a pack of cigarettes, and a digital watch, which allows me to keep track of the days gone by.
Wait a minute!
There was also a good amount of food left in these ground level apartments, along with a working TV that I carried up to my top level hideout. Considering how many valuable items were stored away, it seemed like I was the first person here since the evacuations took place.
To the victor belongs the spoils.
That key I found a few minutes earlier allowed me to enter this secured storage room, which contained a few decent starter guns, but I prefer melee combat until I stumble upon a lot more ammunition. If I fortify the ground level and remain quiet during the night, perhaps this can be a safe place for me to ride out the plague and eventually get the hell out of this city. I can't remember the last time I ate a good meal, and I've lost a considerable amount of weight because of it, so my immediate priority is to pack on a few extra pounds and get back into peak fighting shape. Despite everything that's happening, it is pretty amazing that we still have electricity. I can't be sure how long this will last, so I'm throwing all my perishable food into the oven and eating as much of it as possible to continue bringing my weight up. In Project Zomboid, gaining and losing weight basically works the same as it does in real life. Calories in, calories out, which means Robin will bulk up much faster by continuing to gorge on calorie-dense foods and sloth maxing in this apartment. Thankfully, we have plenty of literature in the occasional episode of Life and Living to keep us from boring ourselves to death.
Hi, Tim the Tool Man Taylor. And you all know my assistant Al, this land is Boarland.
This is not possible.
You're done. You're done.
That's what I get served. Look, come here, all of you. He brings that pissing over, and the big surprise is the fucking bass is fucking raw!
These 2 full days of annihilating my perishable food supply and binge-watching TV progressed without interruption and provided me with plenty of time to come up with an immediate plan of action. Blocking the entrances to this building with furniture is only a temporary measure. If we're really going to fortify this place, then we need a handful of key items. A screwdriver, hammer, and saw for building basic defenses, as well as a collection of skill books to absorb more knowledge while I work. For the tools, I'll most likely find them in one of these storage garages, or this large warehouse to the north. And for the skill books, The Bluegrass State High School just across the street is exactly what we're looking for. In an ideal scenario, I would hit all of these locations today, but that depends on a number of factors that are simply out of my control. My hand axe is clinging to its last bit of durability, so I can't just roll up and cut through a horde with ease. We'll need to use some fancy footwork, remain calm, and avoid being trapped. These defenses won't last much longer. It's time to make our move. Let's not waste our energy on too many unnecessary fights, as the sound will only draw more ghouls towards me. We can walk further up the street and loop around greens until we reach the tall fence parallel to the storage units. It's a big risk to climb over without knowing what's on the other side, but I'm going to take the leap of faith. Looks like those freaks are beating up the garage instead of coming to me. Maybe I can quickly kill the ones in front and sneak by. Ah, no, not like this. That was risky. Now I need to group them towards me and create enough space to search as many garages as I can. Come on. Don't panic. Don't panic. Yes, another weapon. Come on, come on, come on. Shit! Come on, we gotta make it out. That was too close, but I'm not leaving that hatchet. Maybe I'll find something in one of these open trunks. No way! This is a gift from the Zomboid gods. Okay, here's our opening. Let's get in there and get out. Yes, we got the hatchet. Now let's lose this horde. Was there a safer way to approach that scenario? Yeah, probably. But sometimes, you gotta risk it for the biscuit. And after grabbing that hatchet, garden fork, and the metal pipe and bar off the ground, Robin's power level has increased substantially. The street up ahead that leads to the school seemed mostly clear, so I chose to explore around here instead of going back to the garages from earlier. I'll need a crowbar or a sledgehammer to see what's inside of here, but let's see if we'll have any luck from the open garages. I'll be cracking skulls soon enough. Judging by what we can see, the school looks surprisingly empty, but we're gonna make a run back to base to drop off what we've looted so far and catch another episode of Life and Living. Looks like we made it back just in time. Before heading back to the school, I grabbed a quick snack to satiate my hunger and refilled my water containers. Or at least I tried to, because I soon realized the plumbing had been shut off. This isn't an immediate problem, as I have a few days before all the water left in the pipes turns bad. For now, water from the toilet will have to suffice. Yeah, this is fine. We still have the rest of our afternoon ahead of us, so let's make the most of it and hit the school. We just have to make sure to make it back home before nightfall. Upon returning to the school, I got straight to work, clearing out the few ghouls roaming around the halls. A larger group had spotted me from the courtyard, so I evaded them through this back room. While I was out here, I combed through the dumpsters and found some really useful magazines. One man's trash is another man's treasure. The clock's ticking. We need to clear the immediate threat and start looting. So far, it's all quiet on the second floor. I'll keep my head on a swivel while going room to room. The military must have turned this school into a base of operations because we found a lot of protective equipment stashed away. This loot is a game changer, but we still need to save some room in my backpack for skill books. Ah, speak of the devil. This small library was sufficiently stocked with many of the beginner level books to help us get started on key skills. We still haven't run into any freaks up here, so let's make the most of it and run through the third floor. We just have to be quick about it. Okay, that's it. We'll sweep the rest of this place later. We have just about 2 hours before daylight ends. That was a little closer than I would have liked, but regardless, we made it home safe. The school proved to be a goldmine for skill books, as we found Mechanics 1, 2, and 3, Metalwork 2, 3, and 4, Tailoring 2 and 3, Carpentry 3, Electricity 2, and an assortment of recipe magazines that will help us craft scrap armor, weapons, and bullets. Also, I can't understate how important it was to find a full set of armored clothing, as catching just one bite from a stray ghoul can instantly end my goal of escaping Raven Creek. We didn't find any of the essential tools I was looking for, so the plan for tomorrow is to make a move towards the large warehouse. The shortest route to the warehouse is over this fence, so we'll be taking another leap of faith. All of the commotion from yesterday must have caused the horde to move somewhere else, which gave us a chance to comb through these garages a second time. And just like that, I think we've solved the water crisis for the time being.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me.
Hauling these jugs over the fence will be its own challenge, which we'll take care of once we return from the warehouse. And speaking of that warehouse, the loot here was exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yes! Yes!
Although we didn't find a saw to complete the trilogy of tools we need, the sheer amount of melee weapons we just laid our hands on is a welcome consolation prize. Now, I'm not even fazed when a horde spots me. Can you tell how much I love the garden fork? I used one of my fresh axes to break into these locked garages, which didn't really have anything useful except for a spool of wire. Fun fact, if your fitness level is high enough, you'll have next to no issues hopping any tall fences, even with max encumbrance. After lugging all 3 water jugs up to my apartment, I got straight to work disassembling as much furniture as I could with my new hammer and screwdriver. Without a saw, I'm not able to harvest logs from trees to make planks, so I'll make do with what I can to begin barricading the windows down below. Wait, what's happening? I need to make sure the stairs are secure now. Is that it? I can't be sure of where the rest of the horde went, and if they haven't found me by now, I'll be safe to go to sleep. Hopefully with one eye open. I know for a fact that whatever happened with the horde last night was just a fluke, so we need to use this downtime to explore more of our immediate surroundings and hopefully find a saw.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
We certainly have an abundance of food already, but we might as well loot this Green's grocery store since it's so close. Our main objective is to clear this other apartment building and go room to room. other than these sweet padded pants, a small gun shelf, and a boatload of food. This apartment building did not have the saw we were looking for. Let's run back to base, unload my backpack, and make the most of the remaining daylight hours to clear the rest of the school. For the sake of saving time, I'm taking the riskier route to the school by hopping the fence. Yeah, we probably didn't save much time after all. Oh well, let's get in there and take a look around. Starting with just the loot in these lockers, coming back here was already paying off. This military fanny pack is quite the upgrade, but it simply cannot compare to this sweet Rambo poster. Alright, let's make a final sweep of the third floor just to be sure we aren't leaving anything valuable behind. Yes! Finding Electricity Volume 1 is actually huge. I think we can consider the school to be fully cleared. Now, let's get out of here. Oh, no. I completely lost track of time. There is something about the darkness that gives these ghouls pinpoint hearing and increased strength. So if a group spots us right now, we are fucked. Come on. Please don't let there be a horde waiting for me on the other side. If it's just this one, then we'll consider myself extremely lucky right now. I can't believe I was so careless with keeping track of the time. Moving forward, I cannot let myself get caught out there without a clear plan of being back in base before nightfall. Regardless, looting the school for all it's worth is still a big success. I mean, putting up the Rambo poster felt like the dawn of a new era for Robin. These monsters that have taken the city really have no idea what's coming to them. My main goal for the day is to search the remaining garages in the neighborhood and hope that I'll finally find a saw. But before I head out, I want to make sure I cook all the perishable food I looted yesterday, as the inevitable loss of power could happen at any moment. My kitchen is stocked with ingredients, so I might as well prep some pots of stew to maximize what we have.
I'm horny as fuck, man. I'm a freak.
Shit. Robin had heard of strange weather reports happening across Knox County, but never personally witnessed anything until now. All I know is, if we don't remain indoors while the storm is active, we risk suffering severe burns all over the body. No worries, we will still make the most of today. All of these corpses sitting here from last week contain plenty of clothing that we can tear up for ripped sheets and thread, as well as turning them into sheet ropes.
Take your clothes off.
These escape ropes just might save my life if we are ever overwhelmed by a horde. It looks like the storm has passed. Hopefully, we don't have another one for a while. Robin's circadian rhythm decided it was best for us to wake up at 2:40 a.m., so I used this moment of quiet solitude to speed read Electricity Volume 1. Something tells me these guys aren't with the neighborhood watch. That helicopter probably stirred up all the freaks in the area, but that's not going to stop us from looting those garages today.
Mommy milkers, big mommy milkers.
Now that I have a small stash of axes, I don't mind using them to break into these locked storage units. But my hopes of actually finding a saw waned with each passing garage. We have about 3 hours of daylight remaining, but I'm willing to push it to the limit if it means checking this final garage off my looting list. We are really cutting it close on time and can't afford to keep fighting, but I'm not leaving without at least confirming if there's a saw in these garages. Alright, that's all of them. We need to book it out of here now. While adding to my collection of spare electronics is nice, the one tool I've been searching for is still yet to be found. This damn saw is really going to be the bane of my existence. Let's end the night by feasting on an entire ham and putting a dent into Mechanics Volume 1. Since we've now cleared every single garage and warehouse in our neighborhood, that leaves us with 3 possible routes to take for where we want to search next. Either we follow the main road going north or south, or go east and venture deeper into Raven Creek. Regardless of the direction we choose, I can't say for certain what we'll find, but I do know this. I'm sending as many of these bloodthirsty freaks as I can back to the hell they came from. As I continued this bloody game of tug of war, the oncoming hordes would just not let up. Driven by an unbreakable determination and desire for vengeance, I fought hard for every inch of forward progress, only stopping to grab some very valuable loot off a couple bodies. With a handful of hours to spare, I moved further east before realizing that something was wrong. That alarm in the distance is really throwing a wrench into my plans. My thirst for violence is strong, but thankfully, my rational brain took over by pointing me back home. After a full day of fighting, we could use this chance to unwind for a little bit. After some thought, it was around this time where I decided that finding a vehicle would be my main objective. Not only will I be able to cover more ground, but a vehicle gives us the best possible chance to circumvent any large hordes. This will be especially true once we train up our metalworking and beef up our ride with exterior armor. Plus, with all the knowledge absorbed from Mechanics and Electrical Volume 1, we can make efficient use of our time to work towards hot wiring. So the plan for today is to check every abandoned vehicle in our vicinity to look for fuel and spare keys. I remember seeing a decent amount of vehicles around the large warehouse, so that's where we're heading first. I'd like to give a big shout out to this poor bastard for hand delivering a military backpack to me along with some extra supplies and firearms. As my search through vehicles continued, it wasn't too long until I landed a huge score. This Datsun was carrying a near full tank of gas and was in decent shape overall, but without a key, we won't be driving this car anytime soon. My shiny object syndrome kicked in as soon as I saw this storefront, but this spot actually turned out to be pretty awesome. These posters will really help spruce up our apartment, and the rest of the electronics in here might come in handy. Let's get back on the hunt for vehicles. Ooh, man, look at that beast of a truck. Finding the key inside the glove box was awesome, but you want to know what's even better than that? Oh yeah, look at that animation. Since there's no gas in the tank, let's run back to base so we can empty out our loot and come back with some empty containers we can use for siphoning fuel. Alright, the path ahead should be clear enough for us to drive back to base. Oh ho ho, why hello there, gorgeous. I was so enamored by the beauty of this classic Mustang that I was willing to fight for it right here. We still have plenty of time in the day, so I thought to myself, why not bring this car with us? Well, shit. There's no way we're driving through this. Ah, fuck. We have to leave the vehicles here and come back in the morning. I think I was so infatuated with the idea of cruising in the Mustang that I foolishly drove down a street I haven't cleared yet, and the hordes made sure to punish my mistake. Plus, the truck is still running, so it will very likely be out of fuel by the time we make it back there. Let's make sure we siphon some more on the way home. It might not seem like it, but Robin learned a very important lesson today. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Thankfully, we have the means to take those vehicles back, with or without painting the streets in blood. It's more than likely that our caravan will be swarming with the undead, so I need to be prepared for a brawl. If things go sideways and I need to make a run for it, this noisemaker should distract the hordes long enough for me to escape. as I progressed towards my vehicles and littered the streets with slain ghouls. That pesky shiny object syndrome showed itself once again. This time, I was alerted by a small library. If I'm gonna find that generator magazine anywhere, it would be in a place like this. I tried combing through all the bookshelves, but was impeded by swarming freaks from all sides. The inside should be cleared now. Let's go check the shelves in the back. Ah, damn it. They say that overconfidence is a slow killer, and in my case, that does seem to be true. Fortunately for us, a bite on the forearm is not the end. Let's run back to base to gather our bearings and come up with a plan. Before this playthrough, I had never used the Only Cure mod, so it was around this time that I started researching exactly how it works. And yeah, only a saw can be used for amputation. Losing our vehicle caravan and getting chomped kinda sucks, but that extra bit of exploration did reveal more garages nearby. It's still early in the day, so we need to run over there and check it out, because now, not having a saw isn't just an inconvenience anymore, it's a matter of life or death. We have less than a week to cut off our infected forearm, so time is of the essence. Since my right arm remains uninjured, I'm gonna use this fence line to thin out some of the horde that's following me.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Okay, we'll be fine, but now we really can't rely on combat. Those garages are just beyond the fence. Maybe we can find a way to lose this horde. Yes, that doorway is perfect. Alright, here's my chance. I need to pop some pills to dull my intense pain and search through these garages as quickly as possible. That's 2 garages down. Thankfully, I brought a crowbar to help us break open the rest. That's 4 garages down and only 2 more to go. I am praying for the Zomboid gods to bless us with some luck. I suppose our luck has run out. As much as my gut was telling me to search more buildings nearby, I knew it wasn't worth the extreme risk right now. A saw will do nothing for me if the zombies tear me to shreds. We need to make it back to base and figure out what to do next. Holy shit. Come on, get up, get up, get up. Ah, 'tis but a scratch. But now we really gotta get out of Dodge. I'm not sure what's degrading faster, my health, or my hopes of actually finding a damn saw. Either way, we cannot just give up without at least going above and beyond in achieving our goal. After spending this much needed downtime tending to my wounds and eating some stew, I presented myself with two possible options. Option A, we remain local and loot as many locations as we can, specifically targeting utility closets, shelves, and apartments. Low risk, but considering our luck in this area up to this point, I'm not sure we'll find what we need in time. Or option B, we go big and head straight for the massive industrial complex towards the main entrance to the city. This option is much more dangerous, but in my situation, higher risk just might translate to higher reward. So tomorrow, we need to be prepared and ready for whatever this harsh world decides to throw at us. Our journey to the warehouses will certainly take all day, if not longer, so we need to armor up and pack enough extra supplies to survive in a pinch. So long as we keep moving, avoid any side quests, and steer clear of dead ends, the entire walk from our base to the warehouses should only take a few hours. What we'll encounter once we actually make it to our destination is anyone's guess, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. As soon as I began recognizing some key landmarks and noticed the increased density of wandering ghouls, I knew we had to be close to the promised land. Since we're making such good time, we might actually be able to pull off this heist in a single day. Oh no. No, no, no. Not now. I can't believe this is happening. Now we really have to pick up the pace. Thank God, we finally made it. Wait, no, the entrance is completely blocked. There's way too many. We need to find another way in. Jesus Christ, they're everywhere. The fog is getting so thick, I can barely see more than a few feet in front of me. I remember there was a movie theater around here on the map. If we can find our way there, maybe we can take refuge. Yes! Okay, here's the theater. There's way too many zombies on my tail, and I can't reliably fight them off because of my injuries. I think if we can loop back towards the entrance to the warehouses, I'll try to clear those barricades and find a safe place inside. Because if we're caught out here once darkness falls, God help us. Alright, leap of faith, don't fail me now. Wait, I didn't know about this back entrance. Okay, change of plans. Let's create enough space so we can move these barricades. Come on, Robin, we gotta move fast. No. Fuck, nowhere out here is safe. This was a bad idea. Back to the original plan. Follow the fence line back to the main entrance, remove the barricades, and hide. I cannot fucking believe we're still alive, but we're not out of the woods yet. As long as we keep the fence line to our left, we won't get lost in this haunted forest. Here we go, we're back on track. If there's enough space, let's try to move a barricade away from the fence. Nope, there's too many, but if I can lure enough of them away, I'll take another chance. Yes, we grabbed it, but now we have to create enough space to put this roadblock back down, all while being over encumbered and unable to run. Now's our chance to drop the barricade. Perfect. Alright, let's try this again. Now they're starting to hoard up the entrance. Don't panic, be patient, and continue luring them away to create enough of a gap to run through. That's all the space we need. Come on, let's thread this fucking needle. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, get up that ladder. I cannot believe we actually made it. My heart is pounding through my chest, but up here, we can breathe a massive sigh of relief. What's crazy about this entire situation is that just by getting here alive, we've only completed one half of the mission. The other half, you know, finding a saw somewhere around here, is not guaranteed in the slightest. But the hard part is out of the way. Tomorrow, we leave our good fortune up to the Zomboid gods yet again. Despite all the injuries to my right arm being fully healed, Robin was in too much pain to fall asleep. I swear I even triple checked my bags before leaving my apartment. Oh well, we'll have to spend some time staring out the window before Robin can feel good enough to fall asleep. After everything we went through yesterday, eating dry cereal for breakfast after falling asleep in an old office chair just hits so different. Now we're fueled up and ready to descend back into the madness. Let's try to stay low, remain calm, and find a saw. Okay, we made it. Time to search the first warehouse. There's great loot in here, but not what we came for. And now we've got a horde trailing us. Let's search through warehouse number 2. No way. Oh my god. Fucking yes! Words cannot describe how good it made me feel to finally find a saw, and not a moment too soon, as Robin's sickness is progressing fast. I was riding on such a strong high that I kept circling around the stacks of crates in the warehouse, searching for anything else I deemed to be useful instead of running straight back to base. Alright, that's enough. It's time to leave this place and hopefully never come back. I was so locked in that I missed the turn at this intersection here, which would have taken me home through the same way we came. Now, I have to navigate on the fly. Aha, that pile of bodies looks familiar. We're not too far away from home. It felt almost euphoric to be back home, but unfortunately, I couldn't really get comfortable without doing what I have to do first. The longer we wait to cut off Robin's infected forearm, the more time we give the virus to consume her humanity. We have a stack of freshly sterilized bandages ready to go. God, I hope this works. Ugh, oh no, the sounds. Ah, okay, the arm is off. We need to bandage the stump before we bleed out. It's done. Robin saved herself from the plague, but lost an important piece of her body in the process. The most important thing for us to do now is keep the amputation site as clean as we can, make sure we're well fed, and continue to stock up on sterilized bandages. I think enough time has passed now that we're ready to cauterize Robin's forearm, which should stop the bleeding in the area. I can't even imagine how going through all of this would feel, but I believe the word agony is a good place to start. Thankfully, the worst part is behind us. It will take some time to adapt to our new life with one arm, and every action we take gives us a little bit of experience. Speaking of time, Robin is understandably feeling way too much pain to fall asleep.
What the hell?
And it turns out we're completely out of painkillers, sleeping tablets, and liquor. I figure that now is as good a time as any to start studying up on first aid. This knowledge will be incredibly useful going forward. Ironically, that was the best night of sleep Robin has had in a long time, as she's miraculously feeling pretty good, all things considered. Her cauterized wound seems to have gotten infected during the night, but as long as we apply some disinfectant and keep the area clean, she'll be alright. There's something about whipping up a fresh meal with a raging anomalous storm outside that makes me feel extra cozy. After a warm, relaxing bath, I was curious to see how Robin's combat capabilities are holding up, and
Wow.
we're already back to full strength and able to swing a one-handed weapon at full speed. As comfortable as we are in this apartment, I know that we can't stay here forever. Raven Creek is a lost cause, and nobody is coming to save us. But that doesn't mean we won't save ourselves. The power grid will be shut off any minute now, so we need to find that generator magazine and stock up on fuel for a temporary solution. Eventually, we'll work towards the requisite skills in electrical to power this apartment with solar energy. Also, the best part about the Only Cure mod is the ability to craft prosthetic limbs, and the best ones require some handiwork with a blowtorch. Since we basically slept through all of the previous day, we're gonna drink this strawberry milk to give us a slight boost of energy. Somebody must have spiked this with caffeine or something, I don't know. Let's gear up and go loot some more of those buildings in our neighborhood that we haven't combed through yet. Huh, looks like my escape ropes were knocked down. For now, we'll go out from downstairs. Fuck, not like this. Come on, not like this. I'm at a loss for words. In this moment, everything I could have done differently was rushing through my mind. Why didn't I attach new escape ropes? Why wasn't I more careful when approaching that window? I just have to come to terms with the fact that it's over. We need to get back upstairs because I refuse to give these motherfuckers the satisfaction of feasting on my bones. I considered the idea of tossing a Molotov into a horde and going out in a blaze of glory. It sounded so satisfying in the moment, but only satisfying to myself. My partner is still alive out there. I have to believe that. Otherwise, going through hell and back just to throw it all away would be all for nothing. This apartment, everything I have, should remain as a beacon of hope, or even just a temporary safe haven for my partner so he may do what I couldn't, escape this godforsaken city. I cannot allow the virus to turn me into a ravenous freak, just another foot soldier in the army of the undead. The only way I can be sure of that is with a bullet. As the final moments of Robin's story comes to a close, the last words she could muster before pulling the trigger were, "Please, Buck, hear this shot ring loud and true. I'm done." Thank you all so much for watching. These past few months have been a whirlwind, to say the least. My last video has been getting so much love, and I still find it pretty unbelievable how many of you enjoyed it. These Zomboid series take an insane amount of my time and energy to put out, so if you'd like to support the channel, check out my links in the description.
Give me money. Money me. Money now.
Parts 2 and 3 to the Raven Creek series will be out soon. Until next time.